I was talking to Navon about all the jobs Jody has, and that Navon is helping Jody when she folds Jody's clothes, because Jody doesn't have a lot of time to do those things. And then Navon started telling me about her experiences folding clothes, where she learned it, and a business that she started. So, Navon, who taught you how to fold clothes?
My grandmother. She was in my grandma's time, to iron something, you had to heat up a thing that looked like the bottom of an iron on the stove. And then you'd have to attach that to something with a handle, and then you'd have to make sure you didn't get it too hot or it would scorch the clothing. So to iron was a day's worth of work. And so my grandma taught me how to fold clothes so you didn't have to iron them. And that saved her a lot of time, and it saved me a lot of time, because if you have a lot of children and they need their clothes fixed, clean, the ironing and fixing them and all that stuff takes time. And I don't think we do that so much anymore, because we have parts in I don't know what they're called, but they have sort of a dark inside, and so you put it in there and you turn the thing and it takes all the wrinkles out of your clothes. I don't know I forgot what they call that. But in our time, the only way to get your clothes ironed was to iron them. And that took a lot of time, a lot of energy.
So you were telling me about a business you started.
Oh, my memory's gone, so I don't remember what it was. But tell me what I told you.
You took in people's laundry.
Oh, yeah. I had a method by which it didn't take a lot of ironing to keep clothes neat. And so the minute they got in the dryer and dried out, I folded them so they didn't need to be ironed. And except for funny dresses and things that you had to wear out in the town or to church. I was always inventing stuff, because I didn't have a lot of money, which didn't give me a lot of things that people had to do what I had to do, like fold clothes. You put a clothes in a dryer and you fluff them up, you just hang them up and they're done. But in our era of time, we didn't have that, so they had to be washed and then ironed. Took all day. So when you buy clothes, you bought clothes that would be easy to wash and iron. Because the ironing, you put it was an ironing board and then an iron, and the bottom part of the iron would come off, and you'd put that on the stove, and it would get hot. And then you'd have to iron with it until it cooled off. Then you put it on the stove and it heats up. And so to iron,
You probably didn't want to do that very often.
Oh,
so
it was.
So do you remember when you started your business of folding clothes, where that was?
In Logan, girls was going to school, and I had talked him into it because he didn't feel he needed to learn anything. What he didn't understand was he didn't have an occupation. So to get a job, you had to have some kind of a knowledge of the job. And so Burl went to school to become a teacher. And he was a good teacher. He was extremely intelligent, and he liked what children did. He would come home with stories about some little kid told him a joke during one of their very serious moments, and of course it raised everybody's laugh, and it kind of ironed out the stress.
You used that word,
Yeah.
iron. Because we've been
Well-
talking about ironing.
It takes time to iron. You had to, before electricity, you had to put it on the stove,
Yep.
block of iron.
So did your grandma think you were capable enough to do that, or did she do that kind of ironing?
My grandma did it.
Good.
Because of my grandma's knowledge of where I came from, how I was born, how much I knew, pretty much everything about me, she realized that those irons were hot, and she didn't want me to get burned. But she asked me to fold the clothes,
Nice.
and then she would teach me how to fold them so that they wouldn't be all wrinkled.
Well, and then what she taught you helped you create a business to make money for your family. So that's a great story. Thanks, Navon.